Y'all, this is Daniel's Movie Reviews. How are y'all doing today? This is my second review of the day. This is my review for Dunkirk. It's directed by Christopher Nolan. It stars Kenneth Branagh, who's a well-known British actor. He's been in stuff like the Harry Potter Chamber of Secrets. He played Lockhart. He's played in some stuff like Hamilton, I believe. It was either not Hamilton. Why did I say Hamilton? It was Hamlet, not Hamlet. Hamilton. Hamlet, sorry. Hamlet from a few years ago. He directed the first Thor movie. He plays a British admiral. You've got Cillian Murphy, who played the Scarecrow on Batman Begins. You have Harry Styles from One Dimension, I believe, as one of the soldiers. Mark Rylance, who played the Russian spy on Bridge of Spies, is also there as a civilian who's using his boat to help to get the troops off. And then you have Tom Hardy, who plays a British airplane pilot who's trying to get the Germans away from the boats to help get the troops out easier. It's a beautiful film. I went and saw it on the IMAX, which is really a great experience. It makes you feel like you're there. Christopher Nolan blew it out of the water. The special effects, the visual effects were just gorgeous. One thing I didn't like about the film, it was, in a broad sense, it was a great film, but there wasn't a personal depth to some of the characters. I wish I would have seen more about the Admiral, maybe some flashbacks of what was going on. And it took, the timeline was different. Each story had a different timeline. One could be hours, one could be days, one could be a week. And it shows pretty much how everything evolved into the one film and the one battle, the Battle of Dunkirk. It's beautifully shot, the scenery, and it's sad to see the brutality of war. It was an intense film. I mean, I was reading up on Dunkirk when I found out the film was coming out, and to see what these guys went through in that battle was just like, oh my word. I mean, the Germany and Hitler's forces were pretty intense. They did not want these guys to get off the island, and they were doing everything possible. And Christopher Nolan really put that into this film, and it was intense. Everybody did a really good performance. Like I said, I wish there would have been more depth to the characters. You know how you see films like The Fighter, or you see the Batman films, that there was more depth to the characters. I wish there would have been a little more of that in this film. An excellent war film. I believe it is a contender for Best Director, Best Picture. It's more in the style of Spotlight, where there's so many different characters and it's all contributing to the story, but there's no in-depth on each character. I feel like this film had that same effect. Everybody did a good job on the performances. Everybody, really gave their all to make this film a good film. One of the best films of the summer. It was intense. It was one of those films you're just thinking, oh my word. And when it's on the IMAX, you really feel like you're there. The seats were shaking with the bombs going off. The airplanes, I mean, like I said, it was intense. One of, I think, the best film that Christopher Nolan has put out. I enjoyed it. I thought it was good. And it's still showing in a lot of theaters. I would highly recommend it. It kind of gives you a little more impact on history that you may not have known. I didn't know about the Battle of Dunkirk, really. I mean, I knew American history, having grandparents that fought in the war, grandfathers, both sides fought in World War II. And I knew about some of the battles, but I did not realize the Battle of Dunkirk, probably because it wasn't U.S. involved. It was Great Britain, France, Germany, and I think Belgium were the main players in that conflict. It was a beautiful film, shot by shot, one of the most intense films shot by shot, and I loved it. I felt like you were there, and Christopher Nolan blew it out of the water, and I really hope it's a contender for Best Picture. It deserves it. It really was great, and I'm going to give it 5 stars. I would definitely highly recommend going to see Dunkirk.